Has nothing to do with Cody. Cody doesn't resource guard. Cody likes to go grab his toys, play with his toys. He'll actually, when I was here, I would watch him grab a toy, bring it down, go get another one, bring it down. He had them all over.
Yes.
Almost like you would see a kid doing
I
it.
take all this here.
And put it all up there and then.
Yep. Take one.
Yeah,
Go
right,
another.
yeah.
Go other. And
Yeah.
everywhere, you know.
So I recognize this, but I'm already just so well versed with the dogs that I understand and I already told you that this wasn't happening the same way since Luigi's been here. Luigi's a resource guarder. Remember, I'm going to say it one more time so we understand it, and it's also on the video so you can watch this again and really get it. Okay? Even if Luigi has something that may hurt Luigi, a battery, a pen, anything that may be, whatever Luigi has, we're not focusing on it at all. We have to ignore it, and it's hard for us to do because, again, if you see a little dog with a battery, you're going to freak out and, oh my God, I have to get that. The moment we focus on what they have, they intensify their guard. Their normal resource guarding behavior will intensify it, will become stronger, and he's not our training dog. He's not my client or yours. You're helping a friend. So even if that wasn't the case, let's say Cody was the one resource guarding, I would still teach what I'm about to teach you until I could modify the behavior and stop it from occurring. That is a purely positive approach, and that is going to ensure your safety. You're never, no matter what he has, going to remove that from him, ever. Okay? While he's here for the 2 weeks with you, if you see him resource guarding, you're going to not pay any attention to it. You're going to see it, but don't focus on it. The moment you do so, even if we try to pretend like we're not, they feed off of our energy, and he knows. He will intensify his guard. You see him have something, let's say it's a Sharpie marker, whatever it is, and you're going to just not pay it any mind. At that point, he is very food motivated for proper foods. You're going to get him a high value reward, a piece of mozzarella cheese, a piece of chicken. See, he loves this, right? So what's going to happen is, don't try to do what I just did and feed him. You're not going to do that. You're simply just going to toss one very close to the to the thing he's guarding so he can smell it and know what it is. And he may even at that moment get away from what he's guarding to grab it because let's say it's a foot away from him. That's not enough. Then we throw the treat far enough away that he leaves that item. And we actually go and grab it at that point. Dogs are very smart. What's going to happen is this trick's going to get old real fast for him. He's going to realize what you're up to, and they're so smart they'll actually come grab the reward and then fly back and guard it. So they'll still get the reward from us, the high value reward, but then they'll go and guard it. Sometimes at that point it may even be necessary to have two people involved if they're here, where one person lures them and then the other one grab it. So I mean, a lot of things I've had to actually at that point display the leash like we're going outside. You ready to go outside? You ready to go outside? And actually take them outside afterwards because you don't want to make the dog think we're going outside and then not take him. He'll stop coming to you to be leashed. So all of these things are really going to happen. Luigi, here. Yes. So he doesn't know his marker words, but it's just habit. Yes. And you can definitely sense the difference with Cody, that he understands. Cody was learning his break command. If I break Cody and throw a piece of food, he's not going to go get it like he was in the last session. The reason being, he knows Luigi's a resource guarder. He is the submissive dog out of the two, and he's not going to he doesn't even want to do anything that's going to entice Luigi to be in that state. I'm sure, I haven't seen it myself, but I'm sure when he might have a toy and Luigi would actually come after the toy, he'll cower and walk away. He doesn't want any part of it. So he's telling us that that's how it is. Place. And there you have it as well. So the fact that he just got up onto the place bed, which is Cody's place bed, good boys. Here's the good boys anyways. So the mere fact that he did that, Cody stopped going onto the bed. He's submissive to Luigi. So during these 2 weeks, that's fine. We're going to pick up the toys. We're going to be the advocate for our dog. Like I told you before, if our dog may be reactive to people, children, whatever, Not every dog is a toy and they're not meant to be touched. Your dog is so cute. Everyone, even Luigi, they're the cutest things in the world. Everyone wants to touch them. They come in hot over the top of them. That is very counterproductive to even confidence building. If they were to finally be pet, you would want to do so under their chin with Cody because of his age. It instills confidence. It makes him proud. Coming in over the top because of his submissive nature could cause tinkling. It's called submissive urination. And then this would become a normal way to greet people. We don't want to allow that to happen. Just because you have the cutest dog in the track does not mean that everyone gets to come and touch our dog. There's a misconception, a misnomer basically with how puppies should be raised, meaning that everyone says socialization, getting them around dogs. That's not necessarily true. I am a very firm believer in exposure. That means exposing Cody to everything I could possibly expose him to. That does not mean that I'm letting your dog run up on Cody and smelling Cody. That is not beneficial to his growth, especially because he is submissive in nature. It's not going to fare him well. So if the same way we would raise children, if they're not properly socializing as well, there's a reason for what we do with the dogs. And we always have to remember that we're raising a dog. He's cute as a puppy, and we may have, because he's so adorable, allowed getting on tables, and it was cute. Eventually those cute behaviors become very annoying and we don't want it to happen anymore. And now we're stepping back and we're regressing and fixing the things that could have been fixed early on. My professional and how I raise a dog, they are in their crate every night, even if they're in my room with the door open, because obviously puppies and they're up all night and stuff. You have to be prepared for not having a lot of, just like you would a baby, sleepless nights. But they don't roam free in my house when I'm gone until they're 2. And it's because of what I instill into the dog, and then that follows through for the life of the dog. We're raising a dog, not a puppy. So that being said, a lot of these behaviors and stuff we're going to take care of and we're going to address very easily. But we have to always be an advocate for our dogs. If, good, sit. Good, sit. Sit. Good. Good boy. And again, little Luigi here knows no commands. Good boys. And Cody again chose to go into a down. That's his go-to, which is perfectly fine. But so, just our last session, he was learning break and his free dog command, and I was throwing rewards and he was chasing them all over. He's not going to do that today. You're not going to see me do that because I'm being an advocate for him. Either two things are going to happen. One I know is going to happen. He's not going to follow them because he knows Luigi's a guarder and he's going to go run for his reward, and he's just not going to do it. The other alternative would be that maybe he did trot off and go try to get it, and then the tension would ensue and he would become submissive. So I'm not going to set him up for failure. The same way that I don't want you to do so without knowing that you're doing it. And I'm just putting this on video so you and your husband can see it as well. What I mentioned about the toys and him loving toys and having them all over, there's nothing wrong with that approach. I don't allow that. And when I raise dogs, only because they're my toys, and I allow him to have them when I want him to have them. It's not good for puppies to self-stimulate and chase their tails and be able to just go and get what they want. We need that guidance to come. Good boy, sit. Good boy, down. Yes. We need that guidance to be to us. In other words, he's in a down right now. He's behaving. He's not doing anything wrong. If this dog were to come after him immediately, I'm stepping right in and I'm sending that dog away. I'm assuring Cody that I have this. I have it under control. Everything that I do, from our walk to the way we live in the house to everything, he looks to us for guidance. They need that. Dogs are not leaders. When they're left to make their own decisions, they fail every time. The majority of the time. We're going to call it every time. Similar to like a child. If you leave a child up to make his own decisions without guidance, they're probably going to make their own decisions. Very true for dogs. You'll see dogs in a high anxiety state and fearful, but yet they may be protectors by breed. The way they walk, pulling, not focusing on us at all, they're in a situation that they feel they have to guide us. The moment that we take that from them and have them engage with us and we become the leader, they're a happy dog. That's why the behavioral and everything that they learn through basic obedience and finally being able to communicate with us, that's why everyone says, oh, it's a new dog. I may only be 2 or 3 sessions in. All my clients the same thing. This is a different dog. I'm not the best trainer in the world. I'm very good, but it's not me. It's that I'm allowing the dog to be what he needs to be. Instinctively, from being a pack animal, they need the guidance. Okay, so what I'm getting at is about being the best advocate for our dog, not allowing people to come in hot and petting my dog. Very often, my encounters with a dog may be, all my dogs will allow someone to come up if I want them to shake my hand, and they may actually say, hey, can I pet your dog? And oftentimes I say no. Not because I'm being rude to them, because certain dogs just don't need to be pet. They are not toys. And when we come in hot to a submissive dog, meaning he's small, we're big, his whole world is down here. To him, we are giants, beyond giants. He's fearful. Everything and everything he encounters, pretty much even from a cat, can cause harm to him. So he's very submissive in that being, and that's why a lot of small, little, tiny dogs are very reactive, show teeth, bark like they're very serious at causing harm when they may be a little 5-pound Chihuahua or a Yorkie Doodle like this. So why that is because of that fear, and it's a natural instinct to get us away from them, right? So being an advocate, the same way I'm not going to break him and throw him treats to allow him to conflict to happen, we're going to remove all of these toys while he's here. I'm not telling you that you should do so for the life of Cody. He's perfectly fine and having fun doing so, and he's still going to be a great dog without doing that. But while Luigi is here, we have to be an advocate for Luigi too. We're setting him up to fail. He can't help it. He's never been trained, doesn't know any better. He doesn't know that he shouldn't resource guard. He's continually doing it, and it's probably progressed and got worse. But us allowing there to be toys, I mean, they're pretty much all over. We're allowing him to fail, and we're causing Cody to be unsure, okay? And that's not a good state for him, and it's not a good state for him because we're basically allowing it to happen. Whenever 2 dogs are in play, I'll never present a toy, ever. When there's multiple dogs in play, I supervise the staff and doggies and their safety at daycare facilities, and I've trained multiple dogs on multiple occasions, never introducing a toy. That is a one-on-one behavior for that very reason. Even siblings sometimes aren't fed together. They're fed separately because you may have one that resource guards. So again, it just comes back to being the best advocate. So definitely, you said he's been here 2 days. He'll be here another basically 12 days or so. It's not going to harm Cody to not have the toys. And we're going to just pick them all up and not allow them to have them. If they're separated, he can obviously, yes, play with the toy. But we don't want him to begin, we want to be an advocate for Luigi, and we want to also let Cody know that he should never be scared of grabbing a toy. And when that becomes commonplace, and during this 2 weeks, because he's developing, he may begin himself to resource guard. Not necessarily being reactive in the dominant dog, but he may begin to, you might see him taking stuff and going and hiding with it. You may see him begin to take a toy that he never did before and take it under the kitchen table. And that is something, yes, even if Luigi's not here, because if he gets into the habit of doing so and feeling that he has to do so. Yeah, so I'm glad I came over because it's a big deal. But it's no fault of your own. You're just a loving dog owner, but that kind of is how we do that, huh, buddy? You ready to work? You ready to work? Yes. Love. Yes. Good boys. Sit. Good. Down. Yes. Easy. And if I had got to the point that I felt in any way that his feelings were being hurt or he was feeling some sort of way, I would simply just remove Luigi and continue on with the session. Okay, I was hoping that they would play and interact, but now that I'm learning that they're not doing that as much, hence the long training lead. I kind of want to distract away from the behaviors, and which is also cool because we can still do so because he may not be playing and interacting, but he's obviously conscientious of what Luigi's doing. Cody here? Yes.
Good. Easy.
I'm so happy you are today here. I think, yeah, yesterday was Wednesday.
Yes.
Yesterday I grabbed Luigi. Yesterday, yeah.
Ooh, nice. Cody here? Yes. Good. Break. Good boys. Cody.